Yo, what's going on? I know maybe a little bit late to the party, but I'm gonna be recapping. I'm gonna be recapping what is it? Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny UFC Fight Night. Uh, First off, I went 11-0 on picks tonight. I went 11-0 on picks. I'm so happy for myself. Let's fucking go. Let's just get right into it. Melissa Mullins versus Claudia Segula. The difference was just the grappling. She was just able to get her down, keep her down. The second round, I can't remember exactly how she got her down, but she eventually did. She started raining down ground and pound. Segula couldn't do anything and get up. It was just all over from there. Melissa Mullins, Claudia Segula got that right. I just said Melissa Mullins because I just thought she was gonna win, but I still got my pick right, so hee hee ha ha. I'm John predictions over here. Next up, Antonio Trocoli versus Trey Gore. Didn't go how I expected, but I still got my pick right. Ended way sooner than I thought it was gonna be a first round finish, but I thought Trayshawn Gore was just gonna be able to beat the shit out of him on the feet. But what ended up happening was Gore very quickly shot in a single and he transitioned to a double, picks up and slams Trocoli. Uh, very, very easily, very quickly he does this. Trocoli gets back to his feet, fairly quickly. He reverses position on the fence, and then he shoots in on a single leg, just leaving his neck open, and Gore just sinks in his fucking signature, just terrifying to watch power guillotine. It's like the worst thing to see get on someone because he cranks. It's such a high elbow. He always gets like a high elbow, just fucking power guillotine, and it looks like he's about to break someone's fucking neck. He did the same thing to Josh Fremd. The Josh Fremd was way, way more gruesome, but he got him out of there very quickly, very early. Almost in like a, he almost had him in like a, he had him in like a Lyoto Achita John Jones type position, but Trockley quickly tapped and Gore fucking, I think he got a bonus. We're the ones that got a bonus. I know, no, he did not get a bonus. Okay, yeah, he didn't get a bonus, but honestly, should have over fucking Mansur Abdul Malik. It was so fucking tragic how mediocre that guy might is probably. But great win from Trayshawn Gore, back on track after a long layoff. Uh, honestly, I'm having high hopes for him, but still, you lost to Cody Brundage, dude. You have to really, earn your kind of freedom, brother. You're gonna have to earn your apex freedom. But next up, Damon Blackshear versus Cody Stamen. Got this one right. I really thought this would have gone to decision, but Damon Blackshear very, very early on ended up hurting him with a knee. Stamen was doing good with combinations early, but he was like ripping to the body. He was really waiting for Damon to commit, and then like ripping with a three punch combination. But Damon usually was keeping his hands up pretty nicely. But Damon eventually timed a knee with an overhand that hurt him, backed him up against the fence, and then he hit him with a flying knee, which hurt Stamen bad. Had him down. Uh, he Stamen like shoots in for like a single, and Damon gets like a guillotine off of it. Ends up getting he doesn't get the submission, but he gets the mount off of it, and it's a back and forth type of thing, and then eventually Stamen like rolls over and Blackshear gets the back off of it. He gets like an arm like an arm crank with like the forearm on the neck on the mouth to like on the jaw to get Cody Stamen's uh for him to pry his neck up a bit, and then he sunk in the rear naked choke. Flawless from Damon Blackshear. He got a bonus. Let's go. My goat is back in the win column after they Mario Batista fucking robbed him brutally. It's tragic. It's tragic how brutally he got robbed against Batista, and he got fucking knocked out brutally by Montel Jackson. But Montel Jackson apparently has different power. So, hey, but great win from Damon Blackshear. Sucks for Cody Stamann. He's on like a 3 fight skid now, but I just think we all saw this happening. Next up, Charles Radke versus Matthew Simmelsberger. Got this one right. Radke got a 50K bonus. Oh, way, way different than I thought it was going to go. Very early on, Radke just threw out that lead left hook, and he visibly like hurt Semmelsberger with it. Then he starts, stalking him again in exchange, chops away with a low kick. Then they get an exchange. They throw a they exchange a 1-2, but Radke Radke moves his head, so he's like slipping the shot. He lands like Radke lands the entire combination flush, and he ends it with a big three that clearly hurts Semmelsberger. Then they throw they go into another exchange, but Radke slips and he lands a two flush on the chin. He just starts winging hooks. Semmelsberger goes face first. The ref calls off. It looked a bit early, but like looking at it, Radke definitely would have put him out bad. Uh, Radke is lightning fast. Radke is really fucking fast. Crazy knockout power. Great win from Radke. I'd like to see Radke fight Dos Santos next. Let's move on to Dos Santos fight. Uh, this went about how everyone thought it was gonna go. Wasn't didn't really you know shock anybody, but Dos Santos finally got a knockout. Hey, that's good for Dos Santos. I'm happy for him. He didn't get a bonus, but uh, really he was just chopping away with the low kick early. Uh, you know, sucks for Zachary Scrogan because I mean you draw Zaleski Dos Santos in your debut. Even though Dos Santos is old, he is really fucking good. Dos Santos is very good, and eventually he has him backed up against the cage. Scrogan tries to, I think, like slip or roll under like a right hand, and Dos Santos like clips him like right behind the ear, and he goes down, and Dos Santos gets on top. He just starts raining down shots, and Zachary Scrogan is just not defending himself, and that's just it for Zachary Scrogan. Zaleski Dos Santos just puts him out in literally like, yeah, it was a minute and 15 seconds. Radke put him out in 51 seconds. Gore put Tricoli out in a minute 23. These were really fast finishes. It was four first round finishes in a row, three in under a minute and 30. But great win for Dos Santos. Puts him back in a win column in a big way. Took no damage. Radke took no damage. I think you do him versus. If it was up to me, you do Zaleski Dos Santos versus Charles Radke. Okay? Then the winner of that gets to fight the winner of Song Kanon versus Muslim Salikov. Okay? And it's like a little tournament bracket. And the winner of those two, you know, put them against like a top 15 opponent. Okay? Do that. It's like a little four-man bracket. Radke Dos Santos, then you got Kanon Salikov. Okay, and the winner of it all gets a ranked opponent. Because at that point, the wins that they would have had would be very good. And then you could do like, I don't know, what? The loser of Radke Dos Santos fights the loser of Salikov Kanon. Be a good fight. It'd be a good fight. Denise Gomes versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Again, this didn't go how I thought because I figured Denise Gomes would have just beat the shit out of her and knocked her out, but is what it is. Got it right again. You know, swept the entire card. All it's the first card since I've started watching MMA. This is the first card that I've gotten a clean sweep on just like everything. Thank fuck. Uh, Denise Gomes just kind of beats up on her for 3 rounds. You know, some she tries to like go for takedowns, but just kind of holds her against ends up holding her against the cage. Yeah, it's really just young boy like young like 16-year-old boy versus 40-year-old woman. It's just that's what it ends up being. Sucks for Kowakalic, but Denise Gomes gets the win. Got my pick right. Can't be too mad. Next up, Mansur Abdul Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. What ends up happening early on is I don't remember if Malik hurt Dusko or not. I don't think he hurt him, but I know Dusko fell down. I think he slipped, and Mansur Abdul Malik just starts trying to beat the shit out of him. And Dusko Todorovic just keeps fucking going for leg locks. He keeps trying to get for like a heel hook or a knee bar or a fucking like anything. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You're dumb. Eventually, he finds his way back up to his feet, but like Malik has him in sort of like a tie clinch, and he just shoots a knee right up the middle that puts Dusko down bad, and lands a couple more ground and pound shots as Todorovic rolls for a leg again, and the ref stops it. This got a 50K bonus. It shouldn't have. I think it should have been Gore, Blackshear, Radke, Prates, and Prates did get it, but or De Ritter. We'll get to that in a second though. Next up, Luana Pinheiro versus Jillian Robertson. Got this one right again. Robertson was just able to. There were moments on the feet. The story of the fight was on the feet. Pinheiro was better. Uh, on the ground, if Robertson was just able to get on top and keep her there, she would just win the round. That's really what it was. Pretty boring fight. Not much happened, but sucks because Jillian Robertson's usually like a really fun female MMA fighter, but who like beats the fucking ever living shit out of people on the ground. But just gonna do with this fight. Sucks, but hey, win's a win. Good shit. Probably be able to do it in her next fight though. But moving on. Eh, come on, Jan. Come on, Jenny. I don't know why I'm doing that. My fault. Gaston Bolaños versus Cortavius Romius. Got this one right again. Uh, thing is, I just knew Cortavius Romius was just mid as fuck. I mean, if you saw him in his Contender Series fight, he just didn't look the most impressive. Didn't do anything special. Had a couple I'll say his like armbar and triangle attempts are pretty good. Is a pretty good arm armbar and triangle, but I'll say Bolaños is the first round was the thing is like I thought it was 2-1 Bolaños. Don't know how they gave the a 10-8 or how they gave all three to Bolaños. Well, I do know how they gave all three to Bolaños, but I give the first round to Romius because while Bolaños was very clearly outstriking him, at the end of the round he hurt him with like a right hand, and Bolaños was very like clearly wobbled and like kind of like stumbled to the ground. It wasn't an official knockdown, but I gave Romius that round. The second round, Romius was winning, picked him up like slamming him, but Bolaños realized they were in a position where it's like Romius is like they were like in like a back taking position and Bolaños was like slipping out of back control and Romius's head was like in perfect distance of like el 12 to 6 elbows from Bolaños, and eventually Bolaños realizes, oh my god, I can do those. 12 to 6 elbows are legal now. So he just starts fucking elbow. He like lands two huge elbows on Romeus's face. They get back up. Romeus is wobbled. He gets on top. He starts beating the shit out of Romeus. That could maybe if you really want to reach a 10-8 round, but I don't think so. And then the third round, Bolaños, it was kind of back and forth, but Bolaños was just kind of beating him on the feet, doing better. Holy fuck, Bolaños is slow. I don't know what he does for like explosive training or like strength and conditioning or any of that, but he needs to fucking either completely switch it up or like amp it up to 100 because Jesus Christ, he's slow. His body kicks are incredibly slow. His right hand is really slow. Like I fuck with Bolaños. All my homies fuck with Bolaños. But holy shit is he slow. Next up, Rainer de Ritter versus Gerald Mearshart. Holy shit, Dricus Duplessis. You have a Dricus Duplessis, we have a Rainer de Ritter. Holy ever living fuck. How the fuck did this guy ever become a one double champ? This guy was threatening one triple champ status before Anatoly Malikin took it from him. How the fuck was Rainer de Ritter ever a one double champ? Explain that to me. Fucking how? First off, stand-up fight was atrocious. He was making Gerald Mearshart look like Ilya Taporia. Mearshart was fucking fast as lightning compared to Rainer de Ritter. But eventually he caught him with like a left hook early in round one, late in round one, that ended up putting Mearshart down. And then the second and third rounds were just really kind of like pretty fun grappling transitions, but really awkward stand-up and awkward grappling. Third round, same thing. It starts out like that. Rainer de Ritter gets like mount. I think he gets mount or or like half guard. He ends up getting an arm triangle, and Mearshart's forced to tap. Awkward fight. Rainer de Ritter is probably getting a title shot because he in his post fight interview he was like after they leave the cage and everything he was told, yeah, if you're thinking of going to ONE FC, don't go. So they're instantly giving him a title shot for that, obviously. Shitting on the promotion he came from and talking about how good the UFC is. Dana loves that shit, so he's gonna instantly give him a title shot. Probably gonna give him $1 million. Probably gave him $1 million for subbing the great Gerald Mearshart. I want to say he's is gonna not be able to go anywhere, but like Dricus Duplessis made it to the top. I mean, you got to. People are gonna be like, but Dricus is great, but yeah, I know your bitch ass did not pick Dricus to beat Whitaker after watching him fight Derek Brunson. I mean, we picked him to beat Derek Brunson. Your bitch ass was not picking him to beat Robert Whitaker, bro. I know that for a fact that your bitch ass was not picking him to beat Robert Whitaker. Oh, oh, fucking Christ. Yeah, but great win for De Ritter. He beats the GOAT in his debut. I think he should get like a ranked opponent. I think him versus Roman Dolidze would be kind of cool. But I kind of want Roman Dolidze to fight Paulo Costa. No, do Reina de Ritter versus Paulo Costa, then do Paulo Costa versus Roman Dolidze. I think that'd be pretty funny. Give him like two free wins. Moving on, Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny. This fight had me worried at the start because Magny was just like holding him against the fence, and it was like, oh, is Magny just gonna do this for 5 rounds? Can Prates just not? Does he just not know how to get off the fence? But he was able to get off. He dropped him early with like a really like close, tight right hook that really didn't look like it had anything on it, but he dropped Magny with it pretty bad. And at first I was thinking, oh, maybe Magny just slipped. But then you see him get up, and you're like, oh, and you look at the look on his face and the way he's moving, and he's like, oh fuck, he really got hurt by that. And then at the very end of the round, after what happened, Carlos goes in for a 1-2, and Magny tries ducks down and tries to shoot in, and the left of Prates barely clips Magny right behind the ear, like on the side of the head. From the angle they showed originally, you couldn't see it, but it clipped him, and Prates got like full rotation on the hips and shoulders into it, and he just slumps Magny out cold, just completely slumped him out cold. Carlos Prates wins by fucking brutal knockout. He got a bonus. Fucking brutal knockout. Poor Neil Magny. Magny is no longer in the rankings. It sucks. The GOAT, Neil Magny, his title run is over. However, great win from Carlos Prates. He called out Jack de la Maddalena and Jeff Neal. Uh, no, buddy. You haven't earned JDM yet. However, a Jeff Neal fight, I wouldn't be opposed to. I would not be opposed to a Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates fight. But you have not earned yourself a JDM yet. I say we do JDM versus either Usman or Covington to either give him a boost in the rankings or to give him a free win. Either or is fine by me. But Prates versus Neil Magny, Prates versus Jeff Neal. I mean, that sounds like a really good fight to make next. Jeff Neal is much more of a threat on the feet than Neil Magny, and Jeff Neal, he does have really solid power. And when Jeff Neal is switched on, he is a fucking threat. I mean, we saw what he did to Vicente Luque, beat the fucking brakes off of him. But yeah, Carlos Prates wins. Fighting nerds are on the map in 2 divisions now. Can't wait to see more. Uh, yeah, tell me what you guys think. Bye bye.